From about 9:30 in the morning until almost noon of that warm August day, I sat in the tidy, air-conditioned living room of the family genealogist. I'll call her Rosa. In the center of one wall, a picture window dressed in white sheers and a heavy floral valance admitted filtered sunlight and a partial view of the park across the street. The other walls bore enlarged black and white photographs of Rosa's parents and grandparents from the first half of the 20th century. An oil portrait of a 19th century ancestress with lovely brunette hair and a vibrant teal dress sat in a gold-colored frame on a side table. Rosa told me she had had this portrait made from a photograph of the original painting, which had been slashed by Sherman's troops during the Civil War. A partial wall of open display shelves, featuring ceramic birds, dogs, and ball-gowned ladies, formed the border between the living room and dining room, and two cabinets in the dining room held delicate china and pink depression glass, the inherited treasures of several households. The house was quiet save our voices, but the faint smell of a litter box revealed the presence of a silent, unseen cat. I sat on a comfortable sofa. Rosa sat on a straight-backed chair pulled over from the dining table, and a low oval coffee table stood by our knees. On the table rested a large, embossed, bone-colored Holy Bible, and a copy of the maroon hardback genealogy book that had been Rosa's life's work. I had asked for this meeting with Rosa in Columbia, South Carolina, in order to research the writing project I would pursue during my sabbatical from Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania, where I taught English. Particularly, I wanted to talk about Thomas W. Whitman, 1815 to 1891, a planter and slave owner reputed to have had a long-term relationship with one of his slaves, Victoria, a liaison which produced one or more children. I first learned of this ancestor and his family while reading Rosa's genealogy. When I had spoken to Rosa on the phone, she seemed enthusiastic about the visit, suggesting I find a particular court case about our distant relative in the South Carolina archives, and mentioning a note someone had given her long ago. "I'll show it to you if I can lay my hands on it ahead of time," she said in a honeyed Southern accent. By the time of our meeting, however, something had changed. "What is it you want to know?" she asked. I wanted to know more about Thomas and Victoria's relationship, about the children they shared, about how each of them felt about their union, and about Thomas's wife. As I explained my interests again, I sensed her defensiveness. "There's simply no documentation to prove it. I think you've jumped to a wrong conclusion." Rosa impatiently pushed back the short iron-gray hair that curled around her pale face. "You don't think that Victoria and Thomas had a relationship?" "Who knows? Besides, it's no one's business." My cell phone buzzed with an unexpected call. As I reached to silence it, Rosa suspiciously asked, "Are you taping this?" "No," I said. Rosa explained that Thomas's papers had all been destroyed during the Confederate War. Oral history of African-American Whitman descendants links Thomas to Victoria, but there's no real documentation. Emancipated slaves often took their owners' names, Rosa elaborated, so a shared surname doesn't always indicate shared DNA. The gold standard for research is 3 separate sources, such as wills, census reports, or other written records. We don't have anything like that. She complained of someone sharing her research online and sharing her email address. The genealogy book she'd self-published a few years ago had begun 4 decades earlier as a high school project, so she was understandably possessive of its contents. After it came out, she'd gotten emails from Victoria's descendants asking her for more information about their ancestors. "There's just no proof," she said. Here are the gold standard, documented facts about Thomas W. Whitman. Born in 1815 in Blythewood, South Carolina, he grew up in his Uncle Peter Whitman's house, but it is not clear which of Peter's brothers or sisters was his parent. Probably he was the illegitimate son of an unmarried sibling. Upon his death in 1855, Peter left his nephew his entire estate, consisting of lands, Negroes, and stock of every description.